Hey everybody, it's Rob C. Back again. It's been about 2 months since I've posted a video, so hello to everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm here to deliver on a promise I made probably about a year ago or so in a couple of videos where I said I would give you guys an exercise on how to strengthen your psychic muscle. And here's the deal. It takes about 5 minutes. You can do it anywhere. Except I wouldn't suggest while you're driving a car or working machinery. But yeah, you want to turn your cell phone off and make sure you got a 5-minute spot where you're not going to be bothered by anybody. And it's very simply a meditation and an imagination play at first. The first symptom that you'll get from doing this experiment is a sense of relaxation. That's immediate because you are relaxing. The second thing you'll get is an increase in your intuition. And intuition, I mean, you're sitting at home and doing nothing, and all of a sudden you think about your friend Joe. 10 seconds later, Joe calls on the phone. Or you go to pick up the phone to call Joe, and he calls you at the same time. That's what I mean by intuition. Or, knowing something's going to happen right before it happens. Like, that whole, I was about to take a step onto the street, but something told me to step back, and a car came by and almost hit me. That kind of thing. That will be increased, and you will definitely notice a spike in that. So here's how the exercise goes. And basically everyone has a psychic muscle, but we don't use it, so we don't experience psychic activity. Most of us don't even believe that it's there, but trust me, it is. It's very much like asking a skinny kid to bench press 300 pounds. He's not going to be able to do that unless he practices and works those muscles up. They're there, he just can't do it like that right now. That kind of thing. So here's how it works. You relax, sit down where you're going to do this and take a few deep breaths and just definitely relax. Let all your worries drain out of your head. All the stuff that you do to normally meditate or just, take a 5-minute break. So just let all that drain out of you. Now, pick an object, and I would suggest an object that is not in the room with you. Like, for instance, if you're in your living room, pick your coffee machine in your kitchen, or your clock, or pick there's a stop sign right outside your house. Well, go pick that stop sign, or your car that's in your driveway. Pick an object that's outside of your immediate environment, and what I want you to do is basically, with your imagination, go next to that object. Go next to that stop sign, and it's all imagination right now. What you do is just basically you want to get information from all 5 of your senses. So you want to go up next to it and smell what the surface of that object smells like, and get your first bit of information. Get it right away. Don't force it. Like, don't think about what it should smell like. You want zero thought to be involved in this process. You want to just, even if it's imagination or whatever, just smell it, get what it smells like, and move on. If you don't get anything, that's fine. Just move on to the next thing, because sometimes it doesn't smell like anything or taste like anything or whatever. And taste is the next one. So I want you to go up to that object and give it a lick with your imaginary tongue. And what does it taste like? What does it feel like on your tongue? Reach out to the object and touch it, and feel its texture. Is it rough? Is it grainy? Is it slimy because it's covered with grease? Is it scratchy? Is it smooth like glass? Get that information and move on to the next thing. And the next thing would be to knock on it. So knock on the surface of that object, and what does it sound like? Because you can have like this plastic case right here sounds like that, or the wood sounds like this, or this cardboard box sounds like that. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it hot? Is it cold? What does it sound like when you knock on it? Does it sound metallic? Does it sound hollow? Does it sound solid? Get that information and move on to the next thing. Now, the next thing would be, after you've gotten all your sensual data about that object, and try not to use thought. Try to definitely use whatever comes to you. And even if it's crazy, if it's hot outside, but it feels cold, get that information and move on. Now, what I want you to do is shrink yourself to the size of a molecule and go into the surface of that object. Get in real close. Get inside of it. And listen to what it sounds like inside. What's the ambience like? Is it muffled? Is it noisy inside? Is there a ring to it from everything buzzing around you? Does it sound hollow and spacious and echoey? What does the ambiance sound like? Knock on the structures, the molecular structures around you. What does it sound like when you knock on it? Is it hot there? Is it cold there? Is it wet? Is it, get as much information as you can get. Lick the molecules. And what does it taste like when you lick a molecule? Use your imagination and let the answers come to you. Don't search for an answer. Don't sit there and go, oh, I think it's like that. Get that crap out of your head. That's not what you want to do. You want to get information, and if nothing comes to you, that's fine. Move on. Now that you've gotten information from standing next to it and information from going inside of it, I want you to actually get up and go to that object and try it, and get information. I mean, it may look ridiculous to be licking a stop sign, so don't do that, but you can reach out and touch and just see, is it cold or is it hot? Is it actually what it felt like when I thought about it? Knock on it. Does it sound like what you heard when you did the mental thing? Sometimes your answers might surprise you. Sometimes it might sound exactly like what you heard, but you didn't expect it. You thought it was garbage information that you got, but you went and actually did it, and it did sound like that. And you might be pleasantly surprised that you actually got data that was different from what you thought it might be. So, that's, you might start experiencing that 3 days after doing this, or maybe a week after doing this. You might experience it right away. But practice that for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night or in the afternoon, at the minimum 2 times a day for 3 weeks, and see if, well, first of all, you're gonna thank me because you've just learned a way to relax. So that's the first thing. But see if your information started changing, or the process started changing as you did it, or it got easier, which it normally would. But after a while, at first it's your imagination doing it, but after a while, your psychic muscle that you have will wake up. And my screen just changed, so I had a little shift in mood here. But you will, that psychic muscle is going to wake up, and it's going to start going, hey, you're actually trying to use me now. So it's going to start doing it for you and getting real information. And when that starts happening, your intuition will increase big time, and you will notice that. You will start getting that cell phone thing that, you go to pick up the phone before you knew that your friend was going to call, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my friend's calling, and I had the phone in my hand. How did that happen? That's weird. You're going to start seeing things like that happen to you. And from that point on, I'll tell you what the next point is. The thing that's interesting, this is basically the basics of remote viewing. And it's not the same technique that people use on a pen and paper, that kind of thing. This is mental, more of a mental, more of a subconscious state remote viewing. And you'll notice, you might want to experiment with this, is that you can do it with an object that's in the next room to you, or you can do it with an object that's in your friend's house 10 blocks away from you. You can also do it with an object that is in somebody's house in the state of Texas, or in London, England, or in Australia, or on the surface of the moon, or the surface of the sun, or a distant planet that we don't even know about. You can do it to any point in space. Space is no limitation to this process, to this ability. There isn't, the space limit is none. There is no space limit. You can go anywhere and gather information from any object in space. That being said, the next level is time. So what I want you to do is I want you to experiment, and this will be imagination at first, but after you've done this for about 3 weeks, I want you to experiment with doing something in the past, picking an object in the past. So picking, for instance, the hood of your father's first car. The way you could do that is, if you don't know what your father's first car was, try doing this a couple times. Get the information, and if you're brave enough, ask your father what his first car was. Try to get color information. That would be probably the best descriptor. So try to find out what the color of your father's first car was. Something like that. Or an object from your past that you like, an old doll that you used to have when you were growing up, or whatever. Try that, because the thing is, there's no limitation on space, but there's also no limitation on time. You can go backwards and forward. The only difference is that going forward in time, it's probable. It's a probable future. Enough said. I'm out of time. 10 minutes. I love you guys. Hope you do well. Let me know. Reply to me and let me know how you did with your experiment. All right? Bye.